Today is Wednesday, September 10th, and we're recording a podcasts, plural, today. But some news came across just probably 4 hours ago, maybe. It's 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time that Charlie Kirk, who is a conservative political activist, was shot at an event in Utah where he was doing what has become a very popular series of speeches called the Prove Me Wrong, where he'll open up dialogue with individuals of any belief or any political stance, and then they'll discuss. It came across shortly after that he has died as a result of the gunshot wound that he sustained. I don't agree with Charlie Kirk politically. I don't agree with some of the things that he's said. But children are without a father now. And the children should not have to bear the weight of that. These things should not happen. And while I disagree politically, I disagree ethically. I mean, there's a lot about what Charlie Kirk stood for and his legacy will continue to stand for that I disagree with. It still shouldn't have happened this way. And there was also another school shooting today in Denver, or near Denver, where 2 high school students are in critical condition currently. It doesn't make sense. And there's a lot of people that are going to say a lot of stuff that he deserved it, or that, there's quotes that he said that are going to come back to the surface, that this is, he put himself in a situation where this was a possibility. And I disagree. I disagree, because we should be able to say what we think, and we should be able to have an opinion. Now, was he kind of a firebrand? Yeah. Did he say things that I think might have been said to get some extra clicks? Probably. He was an internet personality. It's what happens. You say things, you post things, you talk about things that maybe you're an expert in, maybe you're not, you have an opinion on them. But we live in a world where that is easy to do, and it doesn't matter how controversial or how much it creates division. It shouldn't end in somebody fearing that they're going to get executed publicly. And that's what happened today. And I didn't want it to not be talked about on this platform, because it's just as disturbing that it happened and that this happened as it is what happened a couple weeks ago, and that what happened in Denver today. To me, and you could disagree, and that's okay. I want my voice to be added to the conversation that this has to stop, rather than, yeah, but, or he said this, or, well, he should have known. That doesn't matter, because there's kids that don't have their father tonight. He's not the only victim of gun crime today. There's stuff that's not being reported. Somebody in Detroit or Texas or Oklahoma, it's happening all the time. And so this is my voice saying that regardless of the political discourse that's happening, I personally don't wish death on anyone. Everybody has somebody that cares about them. And I think about the burden that those people have to bear because of somebody else's crime. And regardless of where you land politically, regardless of where you land about Charlie Kirk as a person, regardless of where you land about what you think, whether or not this was bound to I don't know. The truth of the matter is that this platform, this discourse, does that make sense, whatever, is going to speak openly about the whole thing. And if I'm going to talk about a school shooting, I'm going to talk about this. And I don't have solutions. I don't know how to fix it. We don't know anything. I will say this, that if you are, without making any direct connections, people don't hurt other people unless there's something driving that. And if you're a person who struggles with a mental health component, if you're a person who knows people who struggle with a mental health component, one thing that I do know that we got to do is we got to like strip away the stigma of mental health, and we got to get people help. People have to realize that help's out there and that we can all coexist. This is going to sound silly, but one of my favorite things that ever came out of COVID was when Hamilton was released on Disney Plus. And I don't know, this is going to be kind of a long way around it, but I have a point, I promise, that makes more sense than what it sounds like. If you're unfamiliar with the story, which I don't, watch it. It's on Disney Plus. It's free. If you have the streaming service, you don't have to pay anything extra. Watch it. But it's about Alexander Hamilton, one of the founding fathers, Aaron Burr, who at the time that this particular thing happened was the vice president of the United States. They could not get along, and they agreed to a duel. And Alexander Hamilton was shot by Aaron Burr, and he later died. And so Aaron Burr went down in history as the guy who killed Alexander Hamilton. And Alexander Hamilton was an immigrant, and he was the first Secretary of the Treasury. He started America's bank, basically. And so huge founding father. He's on the $10 bill, but you don't hear a lot about him for whatever reason. But in the musical, there's a song that's written that Aaron Burr sings after he shoots Alexander Hamilton, and the wording, I'm going to try to do it from memory because I don't have it pulled up, but he the title or the main line is that the world was wide enough for both of us. And that resonates with me so much because Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote that song to happen after he shot him. And it was almost like Aaron Burr, the character Aaron Burr in the musical, had this realization after he shot this man that he thought his ego was too big for the both of them to exist in the world. And after this duel, he realized that the world was wide enough for both of them. That's still true today. The world is wide enough for all of us to live together, right? The American experience is still kind of a practice. We haven't gotten it nailed down. It's not perfect. There's laws being passed that affect people that I care about in a way that I wish it didn't affect them. There's things that I want to see different. I have ideas. I don't talk about them because the only way that I can do something about them is to pick the people who are running for office that agree with my ideas, right? I'm not going to go... I don't want to run for a public office. I'm not going to do that. The world is wide enough for all of us to have disagreements. It's wide enough. It's big enough for us to disagree without violence. It's big enough. And I don't want to rant, and I'm already doing it, but kids don't have a dad today. He was doing his job, like what he picked as his job. He was doing what he chose to do, that he wanted to do. It shouldn't cost you your life. And again, I don't think that he said anything in the last couple years that I've heard that I went, yeah, I agree with that. But he should be able to tuck his kids in tonight, and he can't. And that's wrong. It doesn't make sense. So to try to make some sense of anything, do two things for me. Hug the people that you agree with and that you love and that you're close to. And realize the world's big enough for those that you disagree with or that disagree with you. It's big enough. It's not us or them. It could be both. And be safe. And let's not stop talking about how we could be better. Not how others can be better, but how we can be better in the mirror. And stay tuned. We'll have more. I'm sure there's going to be a lot coming on with this information over the next, coming days or whatever. But I just wanted to put my voice out there. I can't ignore it. And you don't have to watch. This will be a separate clip. You can scroll through it if you want. But the world's wide enough. And I think that's okay.